What's going on in the world right now is so beyond anything we have collectively experienced that it's important to consider the following.
All these different essential areas of human life are being targeted, and thus it's an anti-human agenda. And a lot more people than ever before, far more, are starting to say, well, maybe that's because, as that mad guy Ike says, behind this is a non-human force.
Now, what's good to recognize this isn't a full discussion of non-human forces and what that means. It's more of realizing that it's beyond anything we've experienced before. So you won't have things like stories in World War II of people playing soccer in the lull of war. It's just an acknowledgement of something a bit more nefarious and lacking in empathy, emotion, or any of those human characteristics. It makes it something that's a lot of people like to label pretty much pure evil. This is why it's so important to take what 107 has said to heart and up our game a bit. And before it gets kinetic, each of us has something we can do.
Yeah, but our job is to wake people up and then fight back using the same technology, which I agree with. Let's fight back with education and information.
Now, we've seen where videos and sharing content has made a huge difference. You can see in some of the videos with Nino or Man in America and many others, the comments that come forth. It really helps a lot of people get an idea of not only what's going on, but also just keep motivated with life in general. It's not just the content, though. It's the framing of language that matters.
So the words that we use not only determine how we think about the world and about how we solve our problems, but the mind blower is the words that we use determine what we're even capable of conceiving.
What we're leading up to is a series of powerful events. And it's through these events that manipulation will happen because we'll be in reactionary mode and we'll have to make a decision and we'll be dying to make the decision they want us to make. It's all by design. And these events will be very hard to ignore. Now, what we do leading up to these events is hugely important because they've been doing this for years.
Communism was defeated in the 70s, and really started in about the 60s, it kind of went underground and it came into the universities in the United States. And so they've done a really good job playing this long game, and they started with changing the college age kids' viewpoints on these things, who have now moved into media, who have now moved into government, who have now moved into finance.
This goes back to what, the 60s?
The 60s, yeah.
Now, while they've had all this time to basically integrate into all the different facets of our culture and using technology and many other means, what's really inspirational, despite all that, is how many people it actually takes to get things going in a whole different direction.
And if you look back at the Revolutionary War in the United States, for example, it was the minority that forced that revolution to happen. So we don't need to reach the masses.
It was less than 5%.
Less than 5%. We just need that small irate minority we talked about last night. So
now, obviously, a civil war isn't what anybody wants. I mean, that's the chaos and all the conditions that really are ripe for them getting top-down control even more so than they already have. So we really don't want a civil war, but we're not there yet. And there are things you can do, even if you're afraid to stand up.
But for those that are still afraid, then just support other people who are willing to stand up. And so if you want to do it anonymously, then do it anonymously. But at least do something. At least support others who are willing to stand up.
That's a very good point.
That's a really good
point.
It becomes so vitally important to at least share information and videos and any of that content, so that has a ripple out effect in a wider, expanding pool of information, inspiration, and so on. So we get to that 5% or whatever percent it might be, which is so much lower than you might think. And so every action that you do, every sharing and all of that really helps to push things outward. And for some people, you can take it a little bit further and start creating your own videos, your own blog posts, and so on. Obviously, some actions you're going to take are like planting a seed and a tree that the generations after you will enjoy. But there are other immediate actions that you take you might not realize have much greater impact. Now, if you're unsure on where to start, check out the links in the description. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.